Crouse.
Romeo and Juliet is arguably the best known of Shakespeare's plays. Certainly, it's his most loved romance, and it is one of the most filmed plays of all time. Among the modern versions of the two young star-crossed lovers story are a classic big-screen MGM adaptation starring Leslie Howard and Norma Shearer, the musical West Side Story, and an anime rendering about two rival ninja clans fighting each other. Perhaps the strangest reimagining of the story, however, hit screens this very weekend. As the title suggests, Gnomeo and Juliet replaces the human protagonists with garden gnomes. Now that's not normal, imagine the spelling with a G in front of that, but then again, this isn't your garden variety kids flick. Set on Verona Drive, the movie takes place in the back gardens of feuding neighbors Mr. Montague and Mrs. Capulet. The dispute isn't the only grudge on the block, however. While they're away at work or asleep at night, the garden gnomes come to life and do battle. Divided into red and blue gardens, every night the gnomes kick some grass in an effort to sabotage one another. The whole situation comes to a head when Gnomeo, that's the voice of James McAvoy, and Juliet, the voice of Emily Blunt, fall hopelessly in love after a chance encounter. Now, Gnomeo and Juliet isn't a strict translation of Bill Shakespeare's play. In other words, and this is not a spoiler, it doesn't end in gnomicide. Other than that, the themes of the original are all in place, like the forcefulness of love as a cause of violence, and the individual versus society. But that stuff's for eggheads, and this is for kids. In the movie, the highfalutin themes have been winnowed down to nice teachable moments for the tots about tolerance and not judging a book by its cover, or in this case, a gnome by the color of their hat. Parents will likely get a kick out of the nods to classic movies. There's the chariot race from Ben-Hur, the bucket scene from Flashdance, and American Beauty's Bed of Roses scene, to name just a few, and the equally classic Elton John songs. He's a producer on this, along with his husband David Furnish, but overall, this is pitched at very young children. The best thing about Gnomeo and Juliet is the animation. Each of the colorful gnomes has a distinct personality, and the animators have carefully recreated the weathered ceramic look of real-life garden gnomes. The downside is the kind of dull voice work. Surprising, because the cast is a who's who, including Michael Caine, Maggie Smith, and Ozzy Osbourne. Another downside, the even duller 3D. But despite the lack of really memorable voices, the story carries the day to create a fun, family-friendly film.
Crouse.